While we're on that subject, Venezuela's legislature has granted expanded powers to President Nicolas Maduro. He says the expansion is needed to defend his country against recent U.S. sanctions. CCTV's Martin Markovits reports from Caracas.
At a packed house at Venezuela's National Assembly, President Nicolas Maduro was granted sweeping powers that he says would let him defend Venezuela against the imperialist threat from the United States. The new enabling law allows Maduro to pass legislation for the rest of 2015 without congressional approval. Immediately after the law was signed, the president spoke to thousands of his supporters, many waving anti-American banners at a rally in downtown Caracas. Maduro attacked U.S. President Barack Obama's recent executive order declaring Caracas a national security threat and the sanctioning of 7 Venezuelan officials.
Obama repealed an executive order. Obama repealed an imperialist order that threatens Venezuela.
This comes after Maduro launched a huge military exercise involving more than 100,000 soldiers across the country over the weekend. In an effort to display Venezuela's military might to the world, troops rolled up in tanks while fighter jets hovered in the air in a not-so-subtle message to Washington. It has been a stressful time in Venezuelan-U.S. relations. Maduro accuses the U.S. of secretly plotting a campaign to topple his socialist government in order to control the country's vast oil reserves. Washington denies the accusations and instead says Caracas is using the U.S. as a scapegoat to deflect the public's attention from Venezuela's deep economic problems. The country has the highest inflation rate in the world, along with widespread shortages of basic goods. Still, there are concerns that with these new expanded powers, Maduro will widen his crackdown on the opposition ahead of key congressional elections.
There are fears that Maduro will use this to increase the persecution of the opposition, something that is already happening. But now the government can continue to use this as an excuse to demobilize the opposition. They hope it will make people abstain from voting, which is what they need as Maduro's ratings continue to plummet.
President Maduro is receiving support from South American leaders. The regional bloc UNASUR condemned Washington's sanctions against Venezuela.
On Saturday, the 12-member bloc criticized Obama's declaration of Venezuela as a national security threat. This was a big blow to the United States, which has failed to organize an international coalition against the Maduro government. Martin Markovits, CCTV, Caracas.